Don't make another promise to yourself or resolution to lose weight, diet, or get healthy until you've watched this show. So stick around for this episode of Love My Body, Love Myself. Well, hello, and a happy new year to you. This is another episode of Love My Body, Love Myself here for 2022. I am your host, Alicia Couri, and I am, as always, super excited to be here tonight with you. And I know we're going to have such a fantastic show for you. I know because I've already heard it. and hey, let me say hi to those of you who are watching. Hey, Phil, how are you doing? Hi, Sandra. Thank you for tuning in. And a happy new year to you too. And so I want to welcome those of you who are joining us and those of you who are on YouTube. Hello, and welcome. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit a subscribe, subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great content there on YouTube. So even if you're not watching on YouTube, go on over to our YouTube channel and check us out. I'll give you the link in a moment. I just also want to say hi to those of you on Facebook that's watching. Welcome. And we have a group, which I'm also going to share that link in a little bit because I want you to join that group. Those of you who are on LinkedIn, welcome. We love our LinkedIn audience and Twitch. Thank you for joining us if you are watching us on Twitch. So this is the YouTube link. So if you are not on YouTube, you can go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/C/Alicia Couri. That is the channel that has a lot of content. So I've created a lot of content on that channel for you to consume. Not just this show, Love My Body, Love Myself, but we have Small Business Saturday Shout Out. We have our podcast is on there, which is Leading with Audacious Confidence, and a lot of other content on that channel. Hey, Deborah, thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you for that. And also, if you would like, we'd love for you to join our Facebook group. So my endeavor is to impact 100,000 women this year with this message of Love My Body, Love Myself. So join the group if you're not a part of the group on Facebook. I am going to be engaging in that group more, doing more videos, doing more things in that group, more giveaways. I have a plan to give away stuff this year. So be a part of that group. If you're a part of that group, you'll be able to enjoy some of the giveaways. I am a beauty professional. I have written some books and I just want to be able to give stuff away to people. So go ahead, go over to facebook.com/group/LMBLM, and that's for Love My Body, Love Myself. And invite a girlfriend to the group. Invite someone to be a part of the group. I would absolutely love that. So which link, Sandra? Do you want the Facebook link or the YouTube link? Because I can give you both again, because it's going across in the banner. The Facebook link is facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. That's for Love My Body, Love Myself. And the YouTube to subscribe to our YouTube channel is youtube.com/C/Alicia Couri. So those were the two. There you go. Those were the two links that you can join the group and also subscribe on YouTube. And I love the comments. Keep them coming in. So if this information is valuable to you, please share. And if you have any questions for our guest, this interview is pre-recorded. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I put them up during the show. Our guest should also be joining us in the chat. So if our guest is in the chat, he can definitely answer your questions in the chat and share more information. And if there are questions, I can always bring him back as a guest. It's my show. So if you have questions about the things that he shares, and he has some really interesting and groundbreaking information that he shared with me on this show, and I can't wait for you to see it. So stick around. If you would like to connect with me on all social media platforms, you can go to Alicia360.com. That is my connection hub. That has my website, my all my social media. You just click and boom, you're there. You can also email me, text me, WhatsApp me from that link under the connect button. So just go to Alicia360.com if you want to stay connected with moi. Now, I don't want to have you wait any longer. So I am going to introduce this fantastic interview that I did with Belldon Colme. Now, in the beginning, I mispronounced his name, as I do sometimes, but he was so gracious in correcting me at the beginning, so you can have a little laugh about that. But his name is Belldon Colme, and let's dive right in. So grab a glass of wine if that's what you enjoy. Grab a cup of coffee if that's what you love. Grab a glass of water if you want to be healthier, and grab a girlfriend and enjoy the show. Yeah, so we have a show all about health, vitality, wellness, and energy coming up with you with Belldon Cologne. And let me tell you a little bit about him. He reversed heart disease and diabetes, lost 105 pounds, and has maintained that for 16 years and counting, and has since helped over 1,600 other people take control of their energy, vitality, and their body. And I felt like it was really important to have him on the show. He's the founder of Nutritional Fitness, metabolic cellular biologist, and chemistry. He's the author of No One Ever Got Fat from Calories. Belldon is also an international speaker, and I am super excited to talk about all that he's done to help you on Love My Body, Love Myself. So welcome, Belldon.
Thank you, Alicia. Happy to be here. I got to fix you on my last name, though. It's one of those weird ones.
Please, because I forgot to ask you before I said it. So please.
No worries. Belldon Colme, like
comb
your hair, but comb.
Like comb your hair. Got
Indeed.
it.
You got it.
Now,
We're in business.
the L is silent. That's all I needed to know.
So happy to be here too, Alicia. It was great meeting you recently and super excited to be with your audience today.
Yes, we actually met at the pageant. You were a guest of one of the winners.
You betcha.
Yeah, Dulce, or you call her Sweetie.
Yeah, we do. Dulce is sugar, so we just call her Sweetie. She's great for your diet, right?
She's great. Yeah, I say stay away. I stay away from the sugar.
Nice.
So you lost 105 pounds, had diabetes. Well, before that, diabetic, heart disease, and then realized that you had to do something different. So tell me what that was like for you, and then what triggered you making that switch.
Yeah, the crazy thing is I was 39 years old when I had my first heart attack. And I didn't know then that heart disease is the fastest growing cause of death in the pre-40-year-old set. But I became a part of that statistic. I was a home builder at the time. I actually got a clean bill of health from my doctor 2 weeks before my first major cardiac event. And I honestly didn't think I was coming home from that event. But I did. I was able to come back, say hi to my family again, which was really, really fun. But I went back a second time. And that second time, it's important to know, I was doing everything to not be there again. I was really, really, really highly motivated, having survived my first incident, and even highly motivated. I'd see progress, go backwards. See progress, go backwards. I mean, this might sound like a familiar story to folks. And I was doing what my doctor told me to do religiously. I was taking my meds, I was doing the diet, I was doing the right stuff. And I reached a point after my second major cardiac event where I decided I was going to take this into my own hands. I was pre-diabetic at the time. Obviously, I had major heart disease, 105 pounds overweight. I'm doing everything I'm told. I'm not able to get anything back. And so I went back to school. I'm just that kind of personality. If you're not going to fix it for me, I'm going to figure it
I'm
out.
gonna figure it out. Okay, give me 1 second there, because you were doing everything that the doctors were telling you to do, to control the heart disease, and so that you wouldn't have another event, and you still had another event.
Two more.
Two more events.
Mhm.
Wow. So, and that's one of my challenges with medications, and just doing the what you think is what you're doing right, but it's really the bare minimum of what you should be doing.
There's a catch-22 in our medical system. I'm not taking anything away from doctors. When I'm having a heart attack, there's no place on earth I would rather be than right here to go and get the care and be able to come through it in one piece and be alive, right? And we have the best medicine in the world for that. The problem with medicine, the way we think of it, is medicine treats symptoms. I'm having a heart attack. What are the symptoms of that heart attack? How do I control those symptoms of that heart attack? And how do I keep this patient in less pain? And that's what a lot of it comes to, is how do I make this patient more comfortable? But we're
Right.
always treating those symptoms, right? We're not getting down to what's causing the poor health in the first place.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I did an interview recently where we were talking about how the body is created to heal itself, and we're talking aesthetics, but this is kind of the same thing internally, even though in that interview we were talking aesthetics, using different therapies that help trigger healing in the body, like for wrinkles and other things. But there are things that you should be doing that will promote healing for your body, because it was created to heal itself.
Yeah, that's our default setting. Our default setting is a body that moves towards a
Health.
better state of being, more energy, better health, less disease, if we just give it the things that it needs to. And this was critical in what I decided to study when I went back to school, because medicine is not the direction I wanted to go. My doctor couldn't fix me. Why would I want to study that?
Yeah.
And I didn't
So
want to
you went
study.
back to school. What did you do?
I went back to study cellular biology because the one thought in my head was, how does this work? Because if I know how it works, right? I'm a mechanic. If I know how it works, I can fix it.
I can
So
fix it. I love it. I
I
love
went
that.
back to study cellular biology. And what I found out was amazing. And Alicia, it's important to know everything that we're going to talk about today, every medical student learns in their first year. But after their first year, they're taught how to forget this, how to ignore this, how to work towards an environment of treating instead of curing.
Curing, healing. And we live in a litigious. I had a doctor tell me the other day, we live in a litigious society, so we follow the standard of care, so that there's no anomaly for someone to come back and point to and say, well, you were the one that told me to do this, and it's your fault.
But at what point do we stand up and say BS to that system? Because
Thank
that's,
you. That's
yeah,
what. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are the kinds of people and around me that I want, that want to see healing happen, not just let me just treat this symptom or cut it out of your body. Right? Let's just cut it out.
Let's
No,
just cut it out.
let's heal it.
It was my heart. I
I
needed
know. You
it.
need it. You need that. Exactly. You can't cut that out.
I need that. I need that. The fun thing was, though, once I started learning how it works and learning what to do, my doctor had me on 21 medications, 3 for my heart disease, 18 for the side effects of the 3. And slightly less than 2 years after my third heart attack, I was down to 1. And my doctor didn't want to take me off it. My cardiologist, he said, I'm not taking you off this. I said, why not? And he said, because I don't trust what you've done. And I said, is there anything in me that would give you cause to have me on this medication if I came in here the first time today and you'd never seen me before? And he said, no, there's really not. I said, cool, it's gone. That was 15 years ago. And to this day, I've had no relapse, no trace of heart disease. The diabetes is gone. Keeping 105 pounds off has been easier than losing it was. And I have more energy today than I could have dreamed about when I was 39 years old. I've apologized to my kids, Alicia,
Oh,
because
wow.
I'm playing with my grandkids in ways that I could not be with
With
my
your
kids.
children. Wow.
And I've had to apologize to them for that fact, right? But this
But
is
when you know better, you do better. So Oprah says, right? When you know better, you do better.
absolutely.
I want to dig into this a little bit, into what was it that you learned that you started to put into practice?
Oh my God.
I know
There's,
it's just a short show, but
yeah,
if you can give me 2 or 3 things, or even if
uh,
it's just one really, really important
yeah.
thing for us to learn.
Let,
Um,
let me give you a couple of the top ones because, yeah, we could talk for days on this topic. But a couple of the top ones. One of the very first things that I learned is that our metabolism is not what we keep thinking it is. I mean, you do a Google search, what is metabolism? And you're going to get all this stuff about fat burning furnace and this and that and energy balance and blah, 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 blah. What I learned early on in my first couple of months of study is that the metabolism has two functions. It takes things apart and it puts things back together. That's all
mm,
our metabolism does. But by doing those two things, for example, taking our food apart and putting it back together into the cells of our body and the stuff that makes us,
mhm,
by doing those two things, our metabolism is the most perfect builder of a body in the entire universe. It's the most beautiful, amazing thing. And it only requires one thing of us. Its job is to build the most perfect us that we can be straight from the blueprints in our DNA. All we have to do is provide the building materials. And we do a really, really, really poor job of providing materials. So we have a builder in our body, a master builder in our metabolism that does an amazing job with what we give it. I mean, look at us.
yeah,
It does an amazing job with what we give it. But it's like building a house out of cardboard.
right.
The builder can make something pretty cool, but it's not going to be, it's not going to last.
You're gonna stand up to a hurricane in Florida.
Right? Right? But imagine if we give that builder, our metabolism, the best building materials so that we have a house built out of wood and steel with the right insulation and the right
Concrete
waterproofing,
and
electricity
yeah,
and water, all the things to make it amazing. Imagine what that same metabolism can do with those building materials.
right.
That's this game, Alicia. This game is to stop thinking about food as fuel. Stop thinking that we can put anything in our body and burn it and we're fine.
Mm,
Start thinking about food as the building blocks that make us. And are we putting the right building blocks in our body for a cell that can have an immune system, for a
mhm.
cell that can heal itself, for a cell that can repair itself, for a cell that can give us endless energy? Are we giving the building blocks to make that chemistry happen? Because
Wow.
if we're not getting the result out, we're not putting the right chemistry in. It really is that simple.
Wow. It's simple but so profound because it's like we're taught the food pyramid, right?
Mhm.
And and so that's what we see as food. We look at that pyramid and that's how we see how we have to look at nutrition for our bodies. But that's not necessarily, or that's not the right way to look at food at
Now, we
all.
should understand first and foremost that the food pyramid you and I grew up with, and it's evolved a few
It's
times,
evolved.
is
Hmm.
now the food plate. But however they choose to depict it, it's economics. Everything at the bottom of that pyramid is where the government is putting funding, putting subsidies. Everything about that pyramid is economics, not health.
Nutrition, not
And,
health.
and we got to get that from the very, very, very beginning and stop listening to the propaganda, stop listening to the advertising, stop listening to the hype, and start getting to the root of what a body needs to not only survive but thrive. And if there's any question about this, Alicia, gosh, I hear people saying all this tech, all this new stuff that we're doing. And all I can say is every year we have a higher rate of obesity. Every year we have a higher rate of diabetes, a higher rate of cancer, a higher rate of heart disease. We're doing it wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely. 100%. So I wanna dive into what does the body need, but I'm going to take a quick break because I know this is going to be a longer segment that we need to talk about. so let's take a quick break and we'll be back with Belldon in 2 seconds.
The Love My Body, Love Myself show is sponsored by Alicia Couri Inc. and produced by Red Carpet CEO. Alicia Couri Inc. specializes in developing audaciously proactive leaders and teams using brain science and people data to get results. Visit our website, aliciacouri.com, for more information. The show is produced by Red Carpet CEO. If you'd like a copy of Age with Audacious Confidence, visit our link tree at linktr.ee/acoury. Let's get back to the show.
Welcome back. My guest here is Belldon Colme. I said that right this time.
Yes, you did.
And we're talking all things nutrition, the things for the body. And I want to share his website. I know I put it up a couple times, but it's nutritional.fitness to go check out some more. And, this is Love My Body, Love Myself. And we're really want to dive into how do you love your body? How do you give it the right things for it to sustain and thrive? And in turn, you're loving yourself if you're giving your body what it needs to sustain and elevate your life. So when we left off, I wanted to jump into what do you really need? What does the body need to function properly? Because we talked the food pyramid and the food plate and all that, but what does it really need aside from economics?
Yeah. If I can say one thing and then dive into the number one thing that the body needs, it's that recently, as you're aware, I got to walk on fire. And when you walk on fire, you learn something. You do. You get to the other side and you realize that you can do anything. And when you do it with 12,000 other people like I did, you realize that we all
can
do anything. And all we need is three things to do it. We need the belief that we can. We need the resolve that we will. And we need the knowledge and understanding of how. And in the health industry, we hear a lot about the belief and the resolve. Believe in yourself, willpower, go do it. Just dive in, Nike, just do it. But the thing is, how many times have we tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed? And pretty soon the belief and the resolve start to drizzle away. But those haven't been the problem. What's been the problem is the understanding of what to do, because it doesn't matter how much we believe and how much willpower we have. If what we're doing isn't in harmony with the physiology of the body.
Well, there's that too.
We're going to talk about the Bible of the body here in a minute. No, if it's not in harmony with our physiology, with the science, with the chemistry of our body, if we're doing stuff out of harmony with that, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how much we believe and resolve.
Right. Can I say one thing too? Is
Absolutely.
that we're not cookie cutter. So like we're not all the same. Our biology is not the same, and what worked for one person is not necessarily going to work for someone else. So a lot of these cookie cutter solutions don't work for everybody because we're not all the same.
I got to comment on that.
Yes.
Because while we do have differences, those differences are really, really small.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that when we look out into the world at other creatures, lions have a lion diet, elephants have an elephant diet, and no matter where they exist in the world,
they eat the same.
They eat the same. Now, the tree leaves that an elephant has access to are different in Africa than they are in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to go to something that has a very, very similar nutrient density. The animals that a tiger eats are different in Thailand than they are in the savannah. But they're going to go to animals that have a very similar nutrient density. See, while we're different, those differences are small, and all of medicine is based on that fact. You open you up and you open me up, things are where they belong, doing more or less what
The
they're
same.
supposed to be if they're healthy, right?
Yeah.
So the differences between us are small little course corrections. And the reason I want to highlight that is we don't need keto for these people and vegan diets for these people. Those are absolutely diametric opposite approaches. We're not that different.
Hmm.
The
And
difference is,
that's what I mean by cookie cutter things. Like
mhm,
you're saying that everybody should be vegan or everybody should be on this path. That's
doesn't work.
that's yeah, that's
You know,
not
it
how we were built to be nourished.
exactly, exactly. So the number one thing that a person needs to do is to understand this sentence and to act in harmony with it. Okay. There's two things I'd like to highlight. One is a lack of energy is the beginning of disease, and we need to understand that. If we're feeling
Mhm.
lethargic, but our doctor is telling us we're healthy, we are not healthy. The body has already started going sideways. And if you feel it on the exterior, if your cells don't have the energy to contract muscles and to get you out of bed and to keep you awake, they don't have the energy to heal themselves either.
Mm.
And we don't
Lack
feel that.
of energy is the beginning of disease. Wow.
And getting your energy back is the beginning of healing. And it is the first thing that we need to focus on. And it dovetails with the second thing. And the second thing is, Alicia, if I said to you, everything happening in here is a series of chemical responses, is that true or false?
That's true.
That's true. I've asked that question of everybody from doctors and cardiologists down to fourth graders, and even fourth graders know that's true because it's just inherent in our collective knowledge. We are chemistry, so why aren't we acting like it? Chemistry is simple. We put the right things into the beaker to get the reaction that we want. We keep the wrong things out of the beaker that are going to pollute that reaction.
Hmm.
And we pay attention to the balance of those things, because if the balance is right, we get an energetic reaction. If the balance is wrong, we get a weak reaction. Right
Mm.
things in, wrong things out, and the right balance of things. That's what this game is about. So if we don't have energy, we have to ask ourselves a question. We're not
Why?
getting, we're not getting out of the beaker what we want out of it. It has to be one of three reasons. We're either putting something into our body that doesn't belong there,
Right.
we're not putting in what does belong there,
Hmm.
or we have the balance wrong, because all it takes to get energy back, and I'd like to give a visual for this in a second, a mental visual. All we need to do to get that energy back is to have the right chemistry to recharge it. If we're not recharging it, we don't have the right chemistry. And can I take a second just to say what energy is so that people understand,
Yes.
see how this works?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Cool. Energy in the body does not come from calories. Calories are in it. No, they're not. Otherwise, if you ate 5,000 calories, you'd be full of energy, and you're not. You eat 5,000 calories, all you want to do is sleep,
Sleep.
right?
Yes.
Calories do not equal energy. So let's get out of that. Energy in the body comes from a molecule called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short. And listen, nobody needs to take my word for what I'm going to say next. You look up ATP and you're going to get a world of knowledge about how this all works. Okay. But ATP is a very unstable molecule. Every cell of your body has thousands of this molecule, and this molecule goes out and it blows up. It explodes. It's a tiny little micro explosion inside your cell. And that explosion releases a tremendous amount of energy. Just think of any explosion and the amount of energy that comes from it, right?
Hmm.
Little micro explosions releases a tremendous amount of energy that the mitochondria of your cell harnesses, and that's what your cell uses for the work it needs to do. Now you have a busted up molecule. You now have ADP and a loose phosphate group, adenosine diphosphate and a loose phosphate group. These pieces, by the way, ATP, ADP, it can't go through a cell wall. What's in your cell is always in your cell. But this busted up molecule goes back into the mitochondria, where a series of chemical reactions, we are chemistry, right?
Hmm.
A series of chemical reactions puts that broken up molecule back together. where it goes and blows up, comes in and gets put back together, goes and blows up. And if you're following this, we have literally limitless, unending, forever energy in our body. So why aren't we feeling it? We don't feel it because the chemistry that puts that molecule back together isn't working. Chemistry is what? Right things in, wrong things out, right balance. One of those three things, or a combination, is what we're missing when our energy is waning. But listen, that energy is going to do everything in your body, from contract your muscles to keep your heart beating, to heal your cells, to remove and replace worn out cells, to keeping your immune system strong, to keeping your skin youthful looking. That energy is going to do all of those things. And if you're feeling lethargic on the outside, your cell is not caring for itself on the inside.
Yeah. I had another health professional say that the vitality you bring to your life each day comes from the foods you eat. If you don't eat the right foods, you're not going to get the vitality and the energy that you're looking for. And you're just going a layer deeper and explaining why that's happening.
Yeah, and it's a super important layer, because I spent a lot of time listening to people tell me things like that, and it's a generalization. Generalizations don't tell us what the heck we're supposed to do.
What are we supposed to do about it?
Yeah, we go out with a generalization and we say, okay, I'm going to eat more good food and less bad food. Okay, but I don't understand what that means. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to try what this person says and that person says, and this idea, and what I feel and what I think and what my doctor tells me. But if nobody tells me with clarity, this is your body chemistry, Bill, and this is how it works. Put these things in, keep those things out, and guess what? Your energy can be restored in 10 to 14 days. And healing in your body will begin right afterwards, because your body finally has the energy. And guess what? While we're not a weight loss company here at Nutritional Fitness, we don't do anything to manipulate your body to weight loss. Weight loss happens faster here than where most people have been, because it's a side effect of a body gone sideways. It's a side effect of malnutrition. Get the nutrition back, guess what? Your body does what it does best and keeps you optimally healthy.
I love that. I love it, because there's so many pundits and stuff talk about lifestyle, and you need to adopt a certain lifestyle. I personally have a challenge with that, because I kind of don't like people to tell me what to do. I don't like somebody directing my path and saying, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. But what you're sharing with me is more along the line of, if you understand what the right things are, you'll do the right things, and your body will naturally do the right things.
You have the belief and you have the resolve to walk on fire. You have them both. You have the belief and the resolve that your body can do what it's supposed to do. We've proven that by every diet we've ever been on.
Yeah.
All we need is to know how to make that belief and that resolve work for us.
Give the right knowledge, the right information to get us down the right path. Yeah. And I've always believed that too. So you're proving that, is that once you give the body the right things to, you're not going to need to go on a diet or a weight loss plan or anything like that, because it will naturally function. It'll excrete what needs to be eliminated from the body the way it's supposed to. And therefore you're not going to gain what you're not going to gain fat. So that one piece of chocolate cake is not going to throw you off, where you're going to, suddenly have 10 extra pounds on you. it's not going to throw you off, because your body's going to continue to function the way, and it's going to eliminate what it doesn't use as fuel.
100%. And we actually changed the question when we're working with clients, because I don't like to be told what to do either.
Right.
There's not an entrepreneur on the planet that wants anybody telling them what to do. And I also don't like people telling me what my lifestyle should be. Right?
Exactly.
And I hate that term. I absolutely loathe that term, because it's so big that nobody is going to do it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're gay, you get to stay gay. If you're straight, you get to stay straight. If you're a
Right.
desk jockey, be a desk jockey. If you like video games, love video games. If you like being a gym rat, be a gym rat. We don't have to change our lifestyle.
Right. Exactly.
We just have to ask a different question that will help us affect our chemistry. And it's a super, super, super powerful question. You want to know what it is?
I want to know what it is.
Cool. First of all, the wrong question. Everybody's asking, is this food healthy? Am I eating healthy food? I'm going to tell you straight up and true, pineapples are very healthy. If you eat nothing but pineapples, you're going to die, and the type of death you die is going to be excruciating. So at what point do pineapples stop becoming healthy and start becoming lethal?
Mm-hmm.
We're
It's like
asking the
people
wrong
who go on that celery juice. That's all I'm going to drink and eat. It's like you can't do that to your body.
Hello. Hello. And if you do the right thing to your body, you might not even need it because of the reason that you're taking it is not going to exist anymore. But the question people need to ask is this. It's not, is this food healthy or is it not healthy? The question is, once I know what to do in here, and this is beautiful because I don't tell my clients what to do. I teach them how to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this food serve me? Does this food serve my health goal? Does it serve what I want to do at this point in my life? Let me give an example. I'm on vacation and I say, do I want to eat that amazing pizza? Well, of course I do. It's pizza. Of course I want to eat that. But if I ask a different question, what do I want to feel like on this vacation when I wake up tomorrow? Do I want to wake up at 6:30 and jump out of bed excited and go on this excursion that I'm really looking forward to? Or do I want to wake up and feel like crap?
Feel sluggish.
So sluggish and so lethargic that I just wind up staying in bed and sleeping through it and saying, I can just play around at the hotel pool today. Which way? How do I want to experience this vacation? How do I want to experience my life? For that matter, how do I want to experience the day after Christmas when my kids are bouncing on the bed saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I'm saying, oh God, get away from me. Just how do I want to, right. Once I know how I want to experience my life, I can ask, does this food serve that goal? And it's an entirely different question than, is this food healthy? And it's a question that if you learn
or is
to
this good for me? Is this good for me?
There is no good or bad in food, Alicia. There is no
Yeah.
good or bad. Food.
But I hear people say that all the time too. Is this?
Yeah.
I eat this. Is this good for me?
Curious thing, though. Curious thing. When we assign good or bad as monikers to food, it engages everything that's been taught in us about religion and shame and guilt.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I have a bad food? And I had that bad food because I was feeling depressed and discouraged and I felt like I needed comfort. So I had this bad food. And now that I've had this bad food,
now I feel even worse.
Yeah, it stops feeling good as soon as I stop eating it. Now I have guilt, I have anxiety, and I feel more need for comfort. What am I going to do? I go back and eat this bad food. And if you follow this loop a couple of times, you start saying something different. You start saying, I'm bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad. If I wasn't bad, I wouldn't eat this.
I wouldn't eat this crap. Right.
And if you'll pardon me saying so, I know we've all said this at some point in our life. When we go through that cycle, we reach a point where we say, screw it. That's not the word we use. We use a much stronger word, but we say, screw it. I messed up this far. I might as well mess up all the way. I'll come back to this Monday. I'll come back to this next month. I'll come back to this next year. I might come back to it never.
Right. Which is why I wanted to do this for the new year, because people make these resolutions that never work. And it's about learning more about your health and how, just like you said, asking the right questions.
And getting
how do I want this year to be? How do I want to wake up tomorrow and experience this day?
Amen. Amen. But see, all that negativity started by calling food bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we get rid of those monikers and just ask, there is no good and bad in food. Does this food serve me? Does it serve my goals? That is a simple yes or no question. And most of us know in our soul what the answer is when we're holding a piece of food.
It's like, no. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Most of us know. We are the only creature on the planet, no lie. We're the only creature on the planet that can hold something in our hand and call it junk food out loud.
And still eat it.
And we can say, this probably isn't very good for me. And somebody can say, is that toxic? And we'll say, it could be.
Could
And
be.
then we'll put that stuff in our mouth anyway. There's no other creature on the planet that will do that. But we know the answer in our soul. We're saying it out loud. We just need to ask ourselves the right questions so that we can respond in a way that serves our body.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. And I just want to show your website again, nutritional.fitness. If you want to learn more and get more information on this process of understanding through cellular biology, understanding the way your cells are nourished the right way. Am I saying that the right way?
It works.
Right. Make sure that you're nourishing your cells the right way, so you have energy, you have vitality, you have everything that you need to attack. And I don't want to use the word attack your day, because that's kind of my thing. Let's go out there and do it. But some people might not feel that way about life. But to be able to really enjoy the life that you have, because we have one life, one body, as we said, you and I were talking earlier. We have this one life and this one body, and don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
Whatever the life that you want to live, however you define your highest best self, get that. Don't wish for it. Get that. And it's going to start by giving yourself the body that can make it happen. And
before we leave, will be my final question, because you were able to reverse your heart disease, reverse diabetes. And again, this is not medical. I'm not dispensing medical advice here or telling you anything. We're just talking about Belldon's reality, what he experienced in this process. He was able to reverse. You've never had another heart situation, another heart attack. You're off all medication. And like we said, you've lost 105 pounds. And it's not that you lost 105. When you learn how to do it the right way, the weight came off of your body that wasn't meant to be there. That was not necessary. To be honest,
at that point in my life, I didn't care a rat's behind about weight loss. I had heart disease. I wanted to live. And that's what I went after, was how do I get my health back? When I got that, I lost 40 pounds in my first 6 weeks. And it just continued to fall off from that point forward without even trying, because I was getting my core right. I was getting my core health right.
Wow. That's so important. And listen, I'm saying this because sometimes people could be thin and unhealthy.
Yes.
It's not the weight, it's what's happening internally. So if someone's thin and they have no energy and they're lethargic and all kinds, there's something happening in the body that is out of alignment.
In the United States, fully 1/3 of the thin population, and we're going to define this as people that are in the middle of BMI for the sake of conversation, 1/3 of our thin population has diabetes or heart disease. 1/3 of our thin population. So disease and sickness and a bad chemistry doesn't manifest in everyone the same way. But it doesn't mean when you look at your friend and you're saying, why can't I be like them? They eat any damn thing they want. It doesn't mean that that's working out for them.
Right. Exactly. So we're not just, highlighting people who are overweight or obese. We're highlighting disease. And if anytime the body, like you said, if you don't have energy and vitality, your body's in a state of disease. It's diseased. And so
Can I tell a 2-minute story that happened to me last week before we let go here? Because as a way to wrap things up, this is super, super powerful. I was on a call with a potential client. He was checking into whether this was the right fit for us. And after talking to me, he told me these words. He said, Belldon, I don't want to live longer if I can't have, and he rattled off a short list of the stuff he wasn't willing to live without. And the reason I want to bring this up is because if he would follow through on that, great. When you get sick and you go to the doctor and you say, doctor, I made a deal with myself. I didn't want to live longer if I couldn't have all of this shit. So now I'm getting sick and my body's falling apart. Please just jab me, get it over with. We're done. Guys, it doesn't work that way. You don't go through, get sick, and your life is over. It doesn't happen that way. The average American is on life-supporting drugs or medical equipment by the time they're 62 years old. They haven't even retired yet.
That gave me chills. That's like,
yeah, well, it doesn't stop. I'm 56 years old, and 9 out of 10 people my age already have diabetes or heart disease. I could have been that statistic. 9 out of 10.
You could have continued to be that statistic.
Exactly.
As you were.
I'm still 10 years from retirement age. I can't see myself ever retiring because I love what I do, but you get what I'm saying. The average American is living 16 years on life-supporting equipment or
drugs.
What kind of quality of life do you think that is? You're not eating all of this crap with a view to dying one day. You are going to suffer, and you're going to suffer acutely for 16 years, and your entire family and circle of loved ones are going to suffer with you because you couldn't live without something that you know hurts your body. That's the thing you need to be saying to yourself. Yeah, I am willing to suffer for 16 years so that I can have Taco Bell.
Right.
Or whatever it is for you. You have to
ask. We're not knocking anybody, any brand particularly.
and my mistake there, and I'm sorry, but the point is we all have our things.
Right.
We can't live without.
Some people who can't live, they say they can't live without soda. I need my diet soda. Really?
Great. 16 years of diabetes, kidney failure, dialysis, knock yourself out. Right? But knock yourself out with that knowledge.
Yeah.
Make your decision with the knowledge because you're watching it all around you. Your loved ones are rotting away from diabetes with appendages falling off in the advanced stages. Your loved ones are suffering from cancer. You've seen the fear in their eyes. Your loved ones are dying from heart disease and suffering before they do. You see it all around you. So tell yourself the right stuff. Belldon, I'm willing to suffer acutely for 16 years so that I can eat XYZ. And you say those words and tell me if they don't hit you hard right here.
Right. So you actually just brought up another quick question that I have around nutrition. And, I've heard that the foods aren't very nutritious now. They lack a lot of the nutrients because the soil's depleted, plus there are a lot of hormones, they use pesticides and all this other stuff. Just really quickly, because we are out of time, but really quickly, what do you say to that?
I say that line of reasoning is something that's doing more harm than good. Is it true? To a certain extent, yes, it is. But people use that as a reason. I don't want to eat my vegetables because they soak up glucosamine, and I don't want that stuff in my body. Okay, great. You just gave up an entire category of foods that your body needs to survive and thrive, right? What's going to do the least damage? If you're in a socioeconomic status where you can afford to source things at the highest level, do, because they're going to be better for you. But if you're not, if you're not at that socioeconomic status, the balance of what you put in your body, getting the right things in, the wrong things out in the right balance is far more important than whether the quality of those things is the highest it can possibly be. We don't throw out the baby with the bathwater and say, food's not as nutritious, so I need to go eat stuff that can't exist without a factory. That's stupid.
Right.
And we need to call it what it is. That's stupid. We need to get the balance of things in and source it as well as we can with our circumstances, whatever they are. And the funny thing is, when we start doing that, then we become aware and we start finding ways that we can source better, even within our budget, just because we're aware and we're looking.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Belldon. I can talk to you for hours and hours, but we do have time constraints on the show, unfortunately.
Hopefully I can come back someday.
Definitely. And I want to see what the comments are, and if you guys want to have him back, please leave a comment and let us know, because this is really, really vital information and great stuff that you need to know. Once again, their website is nutritional.fitness, so check them out. And he has, there's the book, and the book is called No One Ever Got Fat from Calories.
It's available on Amazon, and I'm telling you, at the price it is, we don't make money on this book, and I don't care. The point is, we want people to have a chance to get their health back, and that's what it's there for.
I will put a link. We'll put a link in the description for this. All right. Thank you so much, Belldon.
Thank you, Alicia. It's been fabulous.
Awesome.
Hey. Wow. This is the third time I'm hearing this interview. I mean, I was there when I recorded it. I was there when I edited it, and I'm listening to it again, and I have like a page full of notes, like I'm hearing it for the first time. It was an amazing interview. Thank you so much, Belldon, for sharing such vital information with us. And I have so many notes. If I did a recap, I'd like spend 10 minutes trying to just share all these wonderful nuggets that you brought to us. I mean, the one thing I really want you to understand is that anytime you have a lack of energy, and we said this several times during the show, anytime there's a lack of energy in your body, you feel lethargic, you're not waking up ready to live your life, there is something wrong. That is a sign that something is wrong. So you need to start understanding the right chemistry, the right balance in your body, and understand what food really is, and it's not what you think it is. So anyway, watch it again, share it out, and yes, I know I want to have him back on the show to talk some more about this, because we like touched the surface, and I really enjoy that, because this show is called Love My Body, Love Myself, and I want you to be able to have the best body, the best health, so that you are loving your body. And when you put the right things in, it shows that you're loving your body and that you love yourself. So, I love this. So again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/C/Alicia Couri and hit that subscribe button. If you hit the notification bell, anytime we go live or I post a new video, you will get to see it. And join our Facebook group. If you want to also, you can also invite people to join the Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/LMBLM, and that's for Love My Body, Love Myself. If you want to connect with me on IG, you can connect with me on IG at the Alicia Couri or at Audacious Confidence. And if IG is not your thing and you want to connect with me anywhere else, go to alicia360.com and you'll find all my social media handles there that you can connect with me on. I am really, really thankful that Belldon shared his expertise with us, his knowledge, and I will see you. Listen, next week's show is like, it's another great one. We're talking about energy, but not the way you think we are. We're talking about anti-aging and energy. What's fact? What's fiction? What's myth? What's legend? What's real? What's true? With all these creams, lotions, potions, devices, and gadgets that people are claiming to do miracles, we're going to get down and dirty and get the real skinny on anti-aging from an expert in the field. So come next week, join the show, and until then, please do something really great for yourself. Do something great for your body, and take a little time to love your body and love yourself. And I will see you next week for another episode. So have a great beginning of the year, everybody. And no more New Year's resolutions, but just go ahead and do it. Just do something that's kind for yourself, that is going to increase your health and vitality. Until next time, I will see you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.